Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Manager 2024 and another experiment today where we're taking a look at what would happen if you had the perfect goalkeeper in the game. Now we've already done an experiment of what would happen if you had the perfect striker in the game, and we saw him win many competitions, and we're going to see what happens when that player is a goalkeeper. The real question for me here is, can a goalkeeper win the Ballon d'Or with the game the way it is structured today? Because I think that seems quite unlikely. So what we'll do is basically jump forward 20 years in the future and see if this player has managed to have the kind of career that we might hope he would have. I'm expecting World Cup wins with England, lots of Champions League and Premier League titles, and also for him to get a lot of personal honours and recognition for how good a player he is. Now the player we're using for this is a real player called James Brown, who plays for Spennymoor under 18s. He is 16 years old, 0 caps, 0 goals, a pretty much clear slate as a player, never played for any other team, and we're going to go forward and see how he gets on. You can see for all of his stats he's got a 20 rating. I've made him the tallest player in the game, 95 kilos, so he's a bit on the skinny side at that height, and even in the attribute details he's got 200 current ability, 200 potential ability, and everything else is set pretty much as good as I can get it. Controversy, dirtiness, injury proneness, all set to where I think would probably work quite well for him. He's also two-footed, left foot, right foot, and what I've tried to do is keep him at Spennymoor for a little bit of time, but quite frankly the game has no respect for players under contract at non-league teams, so I 100% expect that he will be snapped up by a big team in about 1 year at most. So we won't see him climb out of the non-league pyramid with Spennymoor. He will move on to a big team, but I'm not going to interfere. I've set his loyalty to 1 in the hope that he will want to move teams, but again that is unlikely to happen. But let's jump ahead now right to the end of his career, no messing around, and see what he's managed to achieve. Well, we have gone all the way forward to the year 2045 with the goalkeeper James Brown, and you can see he is now playing at Al Ahly in Saudi Arabia. Not a huge surprise on that, but look at his salary. He is on £1.6 million per week at the club. His contract expires in 3 days' time, and I know for a fact that he does retire in 3 days' time. So we're taking a look at him while he is still a fit and active player in the game. You can see all of his stats, his height, his weight has never changed. He is the same on all of those metrics. He is described in the media as a legendary personality, and he really has had a pretty good career. You can see that while he was at Spennymoor for 15 games, only conceding 7, he then went to Manchester City and then to Al Ahly, and you can see that he was playing more games than he was conceding goals, which is not a common trait for a goalkeeper. Bearing in mind, keepers often get spanked 4 or 5 goals in one game. That is testament to how many clean sheets he must have kept. Now, if we have a look at his milestones, or his career stats. Let's start with his career stats. You can see at Spennymoor, he had 18 games in all competitions, conceding only 7 with an average rating of 7.4. He kept 14 clean sheets in 18 games in all competitions for Spennymoor before getting a free transfer to Manchester City, and that is absolute robbery. In his 23 games in his first season with Man City, which is still the first season in the game, both of these spells are in that 23-24 season. You can see 16 clean sheets in 23 games. First full season in the Premier League, 23 clean sheets in 37 Premier League games, 29 in 58 in all competitions. Only conceded 38 goals in all competitions, only 19 in the Premier League, which is actually the lowest he ever has. So his first season in the Premier League is the best. He gets 6 man of the match performances as a goalkeeper for Manchester City. That is pretty remarkable. I've just noticed something else remarkable, but we'll get to that in a minute. But you can see his record here, generally getting over 20 clean sheets most seasons, but not always. And his average rating does actually start to go down which makes me think that maybe Manchester City's stock starts to fall at a certain point. So his number of man of the match performances drop as well. Number of goals conceded does slightly tick up. Sub-season he starts conceding 30 plus goals. But generally he's fairly consistent across the board, both in terms of the number of clean sheets, the number of goals conceded. Now the interesting thing at Al Ahly, when he moves there for 18.75 million at the end of his career, is that he starts scoring goals. He got 4 goals this season. And I have got to take a look at where he scored these goals. They're in the Champions League, it would seem. I don't know which of these games he's playing in. You can see James Brown there. He doesn't play every game, so he plays in the home game, not in the away game. He's in goal. Why is he not playing every week? Unless he's getting suspended all the time. But I can't see when he scores the goals. Very strange that they haven't listed when he scored the goals. So the goals must have come in the league fixtures and the league is not loaded. So that is really weird that they've got him down as scoring 4 goals. Really not sure what that's about, but he scored 4 goals for Al Ahly somehow. I don't think in any other season, even in the full scorecard at the bottom, he ever scored for Man City. So I can only assume that's some sort of glitch where, because in the statistics of the game, he's probably the highest rated penalty taker, free kick taker, they've decided, let's get the goalkeeper on penalties. And he's actually gone out and scored penalties and goals. You can see he got an 8.11 average rating for Al Ahly in their first season. Now, if we have a look at his career milestones here, going way back to the start, you can see in his first season, he wins the Carabao Cup and the Champions League. Goalkeeper of the season, UEFA Super Cup winners, gets his first cap against Portugal and gets European Golden Boy. Not bad, given he only spends half that season at Manchester City. He then wins the Premier League, wins another Champions League, the Young Player of the Year as well, the Premier League Golden Glove, best goalkeeper in the Champions League, FA Community Shield, Super Cup, best under-21 men's player, runner-up, World Golden Glove. So he is the best goalkeeper in the world and the FIFA best men's goalkeeper, and he's the Northwest Football Awards Rising Star of the Season. FA Cup, Premier League, so at this point he's won everything that he can in the Premier League in just 2 years. So we're looking at sort of the bigger competitions now. FIFA best goalkeeper, but not the Ballon d'Or. Just the FA Cup in the year 2027. But he does keep winning the men's best goalkeeper, Carabao Cup, Premier League, FA Cup, Champions League, FA Community Shield, FIFA best men's goalkeeper again. Keeps winning the best goalkeeper and the World Golden Glove. Another Premier League, another Carabao Cup, another Premier League. FIFA World Cup winners. So he does win the World Cup with England in the year 2030 and the Community Shield. England Player of the Year, best goalkeeper, but no Ballon d'Or. It looks like the Ballon d'Or is going to continue to evade him. Even in a year where he wins the World Cup and Premier League, he does not win the Ballon d'Or. And I will have a look at who is winning the Ballon d'Or. Champions League and FA Cup here. World Golden Glove, FIFA Best Men's Goalkeeper. But he does get Player of the Year runner-up, which is interesting. So maybe he's getting a bit closer to being Ballon d'Or winner as he gets another Premier League, Nations League win with England. Quite frankly, I'm obsessed with the Ballon d'Or at this point. Doesn't win anything in 2035 in terms of competitions, but then wins the European Championship with Manchester City. Wins the Champions League, Nations League, Club World Cup, Super Cup, Player of the Year, FIFA Best Men's Goalkeeper again, but no individual Ballon d'Or there. Lots of trophy wins here. Champions of England, the European South American Super Cup winner, Champions League winner, Super Cup winner, and again, no Ballon d'Or. Carabao Cup, Champions League again, Super Cup winner, men's best goalkeeper, third place in the FIFA Pro Player of the Year. He is getting there, but he's just not quite doing it. Third place in the best goalkeeper, despite the Nations League win, FA Cup win, and Premier League win. Gets it back the following year, another Champions League win for him. And then he does eventually move on to Al Ahly, and he becomes the AFC Champions League winner, but it looks like he doesn't actually win the Ballon d'Or. And the biography here is always a little bit hard to read because the text just runs across the screen so far. But 56 competition wins in his career: the European South American Super Cup, 9 Community Shields, 7 Caramel Cups, 5 FA Cups, 6 Super Cups, 10 Champions League titles. That is remarkable. Let's just have a look at the past winners of the Champions League here and see how many times Man City won the Champions League. They could have won it another 3 times as well in the final. Won it 4 times in a row, 4 times in a row. That is remarkable that they've been so dominant, and there's no doubt he's a big part of that. Won the European Championship with England, won the World Cup with England, but only once each. It was a lot more when we had the striker. Won the AFC Champions League, FIFA Club World Cup, Nations League they won 3 times, and 11 Premier League titles, 10 Champions League titles is pretty incredible. Goalkeeper, UEFA Champions League goalkeeper of the season 16 times. Golden Boy, English Players Young Player of the Year 4 times. Premier League Golden Glove 10 times. Under 21 Men's Player Runner-Up 3 times. World Golden Glove 14 times. FIFA Best Men's Goalkeeper 17 times. So when did he not win that? That's a interesting stat. You can see James Brown winning it every time. Ter Stegen won it the first season, but he's taken it every other time until he finished 3rd, and Lenny Esnault from Real Madrid managed to take it from him. Then he won it back again, but since then, because he moved to Saudi Arabia, his coefficient isn't high enough, and he's not been able to win it since. So that's interesting that he had 1 year where he was displaced even at Man City. FIFA Best Men's Player. What's this one? Is this just the best player in the world? It looks like it, look. So this isn't... It's not the Ballon d'Or. This is the best men's player, and he's managed to win it in 2040. So he was the world's best player, according to FIFA, in 2040. Has he come close many other times? Doesn't look like he's been in there much before. So that was like a bit of an odd one that he's managed to win it in 2040. And in the Ballon d'Or, it's because it's a different set of years. So the 2039 to 40 he wasn't in there, and he wasn't in there for the 40 to 41. So it must have been something about the year 2040 that gave him that. But World Golden Glove, even that he's not winning all the time. Esnault really pushing him. Domingo managing to win it for Liverpool. But otherwise he's fairly consistently the best goalkeeper in the world. But nice that he did at least win the FIFA Best Men's Player, World Cup Best Goalkeeper, England Player of the Year 7 times, the FIFA Pro Player of the Year runner-up once. There's so many of these best player competitions now. I preferred when it was the FIFA Ballon d'Or. Club World Championship Best Player, 3rd place. So that is quite an incredible history for this player. He does retire at the end of the season, making £1.6 million per year. I don't think he's got any plans to go into management after this, but we'll have to potentially wait and see on that. I think he doesn't quite have the stats to do that. But if you did enjoy this experiment, do drop a like on the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. More experiments on the way this season. But until next time, see ya.